Okay, what can you do when the light is boring? Well, today I'm in San Francisco to do street photography. It's gonna be incroyable, come on! But I only have one day and I made a terrible mistake. Today we have a very boring light, but we're still gonna try to do some street photography with a Sony, a 2470, and even with an iPhone. You don't need a fancy camera. What you need is find good composition. I only have one battery that's at 30% and I'm not sure I can go through the day. The question is, can you shoot street photography with just an iPhone? And on top of that, the light is extremely harsh, there is no clouds, and I cannot shoot at sunset or at sunrise. But what can you do during the day? How am I going to deliver good photos? We're here early in the morning, and what I'm looking for is like a very nice textured wall like San Francisco has with a bit of light on it. You know, I'm a huge fan of Alan Schaller, and he does a lot of that, and then I can just wait for somebody to pass. But what you want, like for example, that wall behind me is too much light. You want something that is just one shaft of light. That's why we got up early, because the sun is still very low. And maybe, mesdames et messieurs, maybe we'll find it. It's the Indiana Jones of the Lost Shadow. Okay, so far it's been great, but it will not last long. Oh, there's a building over there which I love. It's got two leading lines. I remember taking it. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, I have an idea. When the sun is right at you, what's very important is you go in the shadow. You see the shadow is right there? And I'm gonna go in the shadow, and so that the sun is half in and half out, it's gonna lower the dynamic range. It's going to be incroyable. And then we're gonna get the photo. It's gonna be very graphical. Okay, victory dance. I think we have one. It's amazing. I don't know, but we'll find out. So I'm shooting with a 24mm, and sometimes it's a little not wide enough for what I want to do, especially for that frame in a frame. So then what I do is I take 1, 2, 3 photos, and then in Lightroom, I'm gonna make them as one photo. It's kind of like if I had a 20mm or an 18mm, and I on purpose take the street name as a foreground element. It can be interesting. Couple of pro tips. Number one, when you don't have good colors, go black and white, because when you take out the color information, you only have the composition, the geometry of the photo, and you can do some amazing things during the day in black and white. Of course, there are some exceptions. Sometimes if you have some colors, you can do color during the day, but in general, bad colors, go black and white. Okay, so what I did is I really wanted to get the leading lines, and I wanted to compress. So I was waiting for the bus and cars to move, and I compressed as much as I can. You know, the more you zoom in, I can zoom in all the way to 70, so 2470, to get the bridge closer to me. And you know, we'll see how it comes in retouching. The sky was not great, but I want to make it maybe black and white. We'll see. And the leading line is amazing, and the composition, the frame in the frame is really interesting. Voila. I just want to show you a really quick retouch that I did on first a Sony photo and then an iPhone photo. So this one is one of my favorite. I'm going to open the shadow all the way and bring down the highlights on this one. I underexposed it, but you see now I'm getting a nice gradient in the sky. And if I didn't underexpose, I would lose that. Then I'm going to hold on the Option key on my keyboard. So if you're on a Mac, it's the Alt key, and I'm going to do my black point. You see what you see here in blue is pixel, which is 100% black. And now I'm going to reveal the photo with the white slider. Yes, perfect. But you see, now I'm losing the sky, which is fine, and we're going to deal with that. First, a couple of things. Let's add a bit of contrast, and let's change the white balance. It was a morning. Let's warm things up here a little bit. It was a morning light. Yes, let's add some more yellow, and maybe let's go to shade. Shade is good for the morning. Yeah, shade is good. Just maybe a little more magenta. Oh, I like these colors, morning colors. But you see, we lost the sky. So what we're going to do now, first two things, is we're going to make the photo straight by going like this. Auto. Now it's super straight. Then I'm going to crop it. I really want this photo to be 16:9 because it's my screen size. So something like that would be good. All right. Next, I want to take care of the sky here. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to select the sky. And I'm just going to lower the sky so that we get back some of the details. Look at that. We're getting back all the details. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on plus here and add another linear gradient, just one linear gradient for the top here. And I'm going to lower the exposure. Okay, see, that's way too much. But check this out. Here's the master trick. I'm going to do 3 dots, intersect mask with sky. 3 dots, intersect mask with sky. When you do that, now what I did here is only on the sky. It's a bit too much. It's creating a bit of a halo effect, so I need to back it down very slightly. I don't want a halo effect, but look at that. Without the mask, with the mask, it's getting back the sky. I just want to tell you, I'm looking for a few photographers that I can coach one-on-one. My photography 10x when I became the assistant of a mentor 10 years ago that was setting his work in galleries and we're making books. My work is in 120 galleries around the world, and I have 7 coffee table books, and I want to mentor a few of you. Click the link. You can book a call with me and my team, and we can talk about it. Now, check this out. This new feature has been for a while, but it was very buggy. And if you go to the erase tool, use Generate AI, and you make a selection here, a very rough selection of here, of all the cars here and here, like very rough selection, and you click remove. Okay, check this out. This is now, it's all clean. Look at that, it's insane. You can do \key to see the before and after. Look where we are. I think to finalize this photo, I'm gonna add another 2 things. I really wanna focus people's eyes inside, so I'm gonna add a little gradient here to make this a bit darker, a little bit of dodge and burn. And then I'm going to add a little radial gradient here in the middle, like that. And voila, just a tad. Look at this. Okay, before, after. Okay, back to the video. So I kind of like this restaurant because it's got, what you want is you want to have a lot of shadows and just one shaft of light. This one kind of had it, but the texture is not so nice. And then you want to wait for somebody to come. And you want to make sure there's no bus. It doesn't help. Vas-y. So this is the kind of wall I really like, because you got, first of all, it's nice because it's brick. It's got lights on it, and in black and white, with somebody passing by, it could make an interesting photo. It's going to need some work, but it could be amazing. If I shot it with a Sony, we'll see. With one. I love this building, just the texture with the sun, and it was like no cars, kind of a frame in a frame. That could be a nice photo. That could be a nice photo. When you do street photography, you have to adapt. Like, no more Sony, let's go iPhone. Why not? So I made a mistake this morning. My Sony is already dead. No more battery. But I'm gonna keep doing with a phone, because I promise we'll do Sony or phone. I'm gonna shoot RAW. Allons-y. C'est parti, mon kiki. Let's go. So I go on my iPhone and I make sure that RAW is in. See RAW here? You're gonna get a much better quality. And then let's see if we can. That could be cool. This is Alcatraz. I'm trying to do something very graphical here. Like this. Boom. See, what you want is, you don't want to have all of that. I'm going to zoom in so that I only have the shadow. I only have the shadow, this lamp, and Alcatraz. Alcatraz, Alcatraz, and boom. Photo. I'm shooting in RAW. I have an idea. So I love when there's leading lines. We have a nice leading line and there's a tram coming and there's just a little pocket of light. So I'm going to try to get the tram in the pocket of light with the phone, and then we'll see how we retouch it. What's very important is you don't want to have too much bright in front of you. You will see my cameraman in the shot, but for example, you want to have black here in front, and then you want to have lights and light. You don't want to have the light at first, because if you have that, because you want the eyes to go inside of the photo. So something like that is kind of cool. Something like that is kind of cool. I'm going to expose for the highlights. Okay, here comes the tram. Here comes the tram. Boo-doo-boo-boom. Let's see here. Let's take a photo here. But yeah, I want the tram As soon as the tram is gonna come to the light, I'm gonna take the photo and then I'm gonna crush. Are you ready? He's like saying, get out, get out, get out. Okay, are you ready? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so let's do a phone photo. I want to do something fun with this one. So on this one, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna open a shadow like I did. And this is a raw file shot with the raw file, you know, with a regular camera. And I'm gonna crush the blacks and then I'm gonna do the whites, okay? Now it's looking really weird, but check this out. And I thought it would be very clever on this one. I'm gonna go to the color meter saturation and I'm gonna boost the yellow and I'm gonna take down all the other colors, every single one of them. All the other colors I'm gonna desaturate except the yellow, all right? And now let me go here into the cropping tool 4x5. Let's focus here. I don't wanna have the shadow here. Remember, you want the first information to be darkness, okay? And that's good. And now here comes the dodge and burn. I'm gonna make it a bit darker. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna add a gradient and I'm gonna really crush this shadow, like really crush it so that people really are focused in the photo. And then I'm gonna do the same thing that I did here on the sky. I'm gonna go to the sky and I'm gonna select the sky, lower the exposure just a tad. Then I'm going to add another gradient to the sky, to the very top of the sky like this. Boom. But you see, same thing. It's going over the flag here. I don't want that. So remember, 3 dots, intersect mask with sky. And when you do that, it goes behind. You see? Behind. Now, it's too much halo around. So I'm going to back it down just a tad. And I think I'm going to add a little circle also in the middle, just so that people really look at that tram. Yeah, just make it sort of slightly brighter in the middle. And yeah, maybe even more contrast. Look at that. Before, after, before, after. Okay, back to the video. So I'm gonna shoot this one. This is one of the most famous streets, you know, because you've got the bridge at the end, and I'm gonna shoot it in RAW with the iPhone and maybe do some nice black and white with it. And you know, it's cold. Yeah, this is California street, and I just love, you know, you have to zoom in to compress to bring a little bit that bridge further, but it's incroyable. Another pro tip is you always, you know, the key thing is you don't want to have too much sun against a facade of a building, because, you know, the eyes goes to the brightest part of the photo, and if it's too white, you want to have something that has a nice texture, and you want something where there is very little light, and you really want to go from the shadow. You know, there's something called clair-obscur in French, which means from the darkness, and that's really what you want to do during the day. And it's really a fun way to create while you're waiting for the amazing light at night, which is, I love doing that now. Make sure you subscribe, because the next video is going to be amazing. It's going to be the ultimate guide to landscape composition in Yosemite, California. Mesdames et messieurs, it is fou, it is incroyable. You need to subscribe right now. Yeah, I look forward to be working with you soon. Let's book a call and talk.